crimes are outrageous.
I'm now a member of the Research Committee of Jamaica. We have been involved in the business of education, trying to make a contribution to not only pedagogy in the country, but also to move along Jamaica's commitment to bring about educational transformation.
During the time that Basil was here, he was doing a great deal of work still in Jamaica. I know he was heavily involved with the Jamaican police and really concerned about criminal justice issues there. And he had, to the best of my knowledge, our first scholar to come and visit, Anthony Harriet, came to visit from Jamaica, who wrote a wonderful book about the Jamaican police.
Many years ago, we formed what is called CUNYAC, the CUNY Association of Caribbean Faculty. And we had produced a journal called Cimarron, which lasted for about 3 years.
He's very involved in Caribbean politics, both down in Jamaica and elsewhere in the Caribbean, as well as here in New York.
For the last 8 years, I have written a weekly column for Carib News. It's very time-consuming. It's not a column that I just write off the top of my head. I mean, it requires research, and it takes me at least 2 days to write the column.
He appeared regularly on a radio program there, and he also got me I wouldn't say roped into it, but he invited me on more than one occasion. The Breakfast Club, I think it was called. And I remember it well because they would call me at 5:30 or 6 in the morning for the interviews. But he was a regular on it.
We now have a journal, which I'm a member of the editorial board, called Wanabaji, which is published by the Caribbean Research Center at Medgar College. Many of the Caribbean scholars within the CUNY system are members of that editorial board. I've been a soccer player all my life. I coach soccer. And in fact, I ran a tournament at Springfield Boulevard from 1980 until 1991 called Ball-A-Rambe, which brought together all the Jamaican soccer teams, as many as possible in the country. Teams would come from Florida, from Chicago, from Canada, from Philadelphia, Boston, etc. And it was like a fun day. You know, and that lasted for 11 years. I'd had enough of it by that time. I'd like to spend the rest of my active and productive years defining myself as a writer and as a scholar. So I have, you know, I never published the study that I did on political violence in Jamaica. I'm now working on that, and hopefully will complete that sometime in 2008. Charles Green and I have spoken about the possibility of doing a work on race, culture, and globalization.
He pulled out a folder with all of these poems, and he told me that he's always had a deep affection for poetry. And as I glimpsed through some of them, I said, my goodness, why don't you publish these?
I also want to do a major study of the United States in terms of understanding where America was during the 20th century and where America is in the 21st century. I also want to explore the possibility of writing plays, even writing a novel. So I know I've mentioned to people that this is now the best years of my life, that I can have the time to really write, to pursue scholarship in a much more rigorous way than I was able to.
If Basil should ever decide he, wants to come back to come out of retirement, come back to John Jay, maybe even be the president, he's welcome.
I feel bad, for me personally, I feel bad for the institution that we don't have him here as much as we used to.
He has a lot of things to keep him awake, from the poetry to the written music to all kinds of things. I don't think that he will ever go to sleep from this whole academic thing.